फिजिक्स गोल्ड 100 में आज हम 11th क्लास को स्टार्ट करने जा रहे हैं। 11th क्लास में सबसे बेसिक है यूनिट्स एंड मेजरमेंट। You know that physics is a study of nature and natural phenomena, and these natural phenomena are being measured in some other quantities. Means the terms in physics are measured in physical quantity, in terms of that physical quantities in which the laws of physics are defined. So first we should know what is physics. Physics is exact science and it gives accurate knowledge, because now due to precision we are able to find the mass of electron, we are able to find the expected mass of the universe. So exact science means it gives accurate reading. Now we will discuss the physical quantities, because all the laws in physics are defined in terms of the terms. That terms are called physical quantities. So physical quantity in terms of these laws of physics can be expressed are called physical quantities. So first we have discussed about the measurement. Physics is the study of nature and natural phenomena. It is exact science and give accurate knowledge of nature and natural phenomena. Science and development gives high precision instrument due to which we can calculate the mass of electron and mass of universe also. So to define physical quantity, they are generally are of two type. One is called fundamental, second one is derived. So fundamental are basic, like length, mass, time, electric current, luminous intensity, quantity of substance, temperature, so apart from this fundamental we are having two subordinates units also, supplementary units also, that is called 2D angle, that is radian, and 3D angle, that is solid angle. Derived means they don't have base, they dependent on base, like volume, area, momentum, force, etc. So what is the difference like derived and fundamental? Fundamental means the basic. Now we come to measurement. Measurement means the comparison of the physical quantity with the standard, with the units. What must be the property of that unit and characteristics of that units? That should be invariable. They should be independent of temperature, pressure, volume, condition. They must be easily accessible, easily measurable, and universally accepted. So these are the basic properties of the units. Now the units which we are going to study are measured in different system: FPS system, CGS system, MKS system, or SI system. SI means System of International Units, that is extended MKS. MKS means the system in which length is measured in meter, mass is measured in kg, and time is measured in second. But only these three quantity cannot measure all the quantities. So these seven quantities can be measured or are complete with these supplementary units to all the physical quantity. That's why it is called seven physical quantity of the world. So these seven physical quantity can measure every physical quantity in the world. That's why it is called SI system or extended MKS. If we talk about the foot pound second FPS system, there is a multiplier of 0.425 kg. One pound is 0.425 kg. So in MK system there is no multiplier. That's why the MKS यानी SI system is overall and easily acceptable in the world. हम डिस्कस करते हैं कि why SI system is internationally accepted. Number one point is it is coherent system. Coherent means all drive obtained by multiplication or division of fundamental units without numerical factor. हमें कोई numerical factor include नहीं करना. हम फोर्स को मास इंटू एक्सेलरेशन मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर के टर्म में आसानी से विदाउट एनी न्यूमेरिकल फैक्टर हम इंक्लूड कर सकते हैं. It is a rational system. Rational system means only one unit for one physical quantity, means any energy, whether it is chemical energy, kinetic energy, potential energy, all have heat energy, all have sound energy, all have some one unit, that is called joule. Metric system. Multiplication are expressed in terms of power 10, means if I want to calculate MKS into CGS, like 1 Newton, it can be converted into 10 की power 5 dynes. And 1 joule can be converted into 10 की power 7 arcs. Absolute system. Absolute system means the value use of G is not required. So we don't need to use value of G. Is it clear? So advantage of SI is that, and fifth point is it is internationally acceptable. Coherent system, rational system, metric system and absolute system. These are the basic property of the why SI system is universally accepted. Now we will measure some distances also. अब तक आपने यूनिट्स पढ़ा. यूनिट्स का मतलब यह है कि हम किन किन तरीक़ों से हम चीज़ों का मेज़रमेंट लेंगे. लेकिन अब हम पढ़ रहे हैं कि मेज़रमेंट कैसे लें. मेज़रमेंट्स के क्या क्या तरीके हैं. या तो सिंपली हम किसी शॉप पर जाते हैं और हम उससे बोलते हैं कि आई नीड 2 मीटर ऑफ वायर, देन ही जस्ट टेक द वायर एंड टेक अ स्केल. दे आर द डायरेक्ट मेथड. Suppose once again in example, suppose this is a paper and I want to calculate its width, this amount. Then I use a simple scale. I just coincide 0 with one end and I find that some student may say sir it is 5.7, some may say sir it is less than 5 point, just less than 5.7, some may say that sir it's more than 5.7 centimeter for this. But what is the actual reading? Means we want more precise reading. So using this scale it seems to be 5.7, but it may be slightly less than 5.7, slightly more than 5.7. This is called precision. So for direct method we are having either the meter scale whose least count is 1.1 centimeter. Its precision is 1 decimal places. Again, I told you that there is a confusion between the student between 5.7 and less than 5.7 or greater than 5.7. Then we have Vernier scale. Its precision is 0.01 centimeter and its precision is 2 decimal places. And now we have a screw gauge which have 3 decimal places. So these are the direct methods. We'll take the numericals as well as the derivations each step by step. Now indirect method for long distances. For long distances we are using triangular method. Triangular method means, we'll discuss this again, with the help of the trigonometry we can find the approximate height of the hill or any large building. Parallax method. This lies for less than 100 light year. Intensity method, that is greater than 100 light year. 100 light year is not a time, it's a distance. We'll discuss it. What is it? Copernicus method, is this for inferior planets. Inferior planets means the planets lie between sun and the earth. Kepler's law, it is for superior planet, that is light beyond the earth in our solar system. Diameter of moon, this is approximate. Again, the formula for use for angle is equal to arc upon radius. Reflection of the sound, so many devices are based sonar, navigation, they are radar system, they are based on the reflection methods. Short distance method, we are having Avogadro's hypothesis and size of oleic acid. We will discuss them one by one. Common practical units में हम यूनिट्स स्मॉल डिस्टेंसेस और लार्ज डिस्टेंसेस दोनों के लिए लेते हैं. तो जो हम स्मॉल डिस्टेंसेस लेते हैं वो सबसे पहले हम न्यूक्लियर साइज के लिए लेते हैं. फर्मी, 1 फर्मी मतलब 10 की पावर -15 मीटर. रेडियस ऑफ प्रोटॉन इज 1.2 फर्मी. दैट इज साइज ऑफ न्यूक्लियस कैन बी कैलकुलेटेड इन फर्मी. नाउ एंगस्ट्रॉम, इट इज कॉल्ड एंगस्ट्रॉम, 1A, 10 की पावर -10 मीटर. साइज ऑफ एटम can be calculated with angstrom. Nanometer, nanometer मतलब 1 nm, 10 की पावर -9 मीटर. It is used for size of wavelength. 1 micron, 1 micron is 1 micrometer, 10 की पावर -6 मीटर. It is used for size of dust particle. Dust particle का size हम माइक्रोमीटर में नापते हैं. Large distances, light year, 1 light year, it's not a year, it's not a time, it's a distance moved by light in 1 year. Speed of light is, you heard about in 10 की पावर 8 meter per second. Now what is the second in 1 year? 365.25 days. Each day contains 24 hours. Each hour contains 16 to 60 seconds. So total seconds in 1 year is 365.25 into 24 into 16 to 60. It is multiplied by the speed. So 3 into 10 की power 8. So it is called distance, total distance. That come out to be 9.496 into 10 की power 15 meter. Second is astronomical unit. It is the assumed distance between center of the earth and center of the sun. That is fixed. 1.496 into 10 की power 11 meter. Next is parsec. Parsec is called parallactic second. Parallactic second means 1 astronomical unit arc, that is the distance between sun and earth, subtend at a point of 1 second angle, then this arc length is assumed to be 1 parsec. Now I am discussing about what is 1 second. Suppose we have 1 degree. 1 degree is further divided, 1 degree is an angle which is further divided into 60 minutes. Now 1 minute is further divided into 60 seconds. So 1 second is 1 by 60 into 1 by 60 degree. That is 1 by 3600 degree. Now you have already heard about the relation between degree and radian. Suppose I have a semicircle. If I have semicircle and I complete the semicircle and I move from point A to diagonally opposite point B, then in your degree measurement it becomes 180 degree. And when it becomes 180 degree, now in radian this arc length is pi r, and if radius is r, then in radian it is angle in radian theta is arc upon radius. Arc is pi r, radius is r, that is theta is pi radian. But what it is actually, it is 180 degree. So 1 degree is pi by 180 radian. So now I am just trying to calculate the value of 1 parsec. Value of 1 parsec. What will be the value of the 1 parsec? from the figure you heard about, you listen, you find that this is 1 AU and this is 1 parsec and this is 1 second. Now use angle is equal to arc upon radius, because these are very large distance, so we can assume them that is it as if it is an arc. So 1 second is equal to 1 AU upon 1 parsec. Now substitute the value of each term. 1 second I can write 1 by 3600 degree, but arc upon radius need degree in radian. So now 1 by 366 degree will become pi by 180 multiplied by pi by 180 radian. 1 astronomical unit. 1 astronomical unit, what you heard about? 1.496 into 10 की power 11 upon 1 parsec. So 1 parsec is 1.496 10 की power 11 into 3600 into 180 divided by 3.14. Pi value is 3.14. So now it comes out to be 3.08 into 10 की power 16 meter. So it is 1 parsec. It is 1 parallactic seconds. Now we can find the relation between the parsec, astronomical unit, light year. So we can find different relations also. That is, you can find 1 light year upon 1 AU. 1 light year upon 1 AU is 9.496 into 10 की power 15 upon 1.5 into 10 की power 11, that is come to be 6.3 into 10 की power 4. Now we can find relation 1 parsec upon 1 light year. So it is 1 parsec 3.08 into 10 की power 16 upon 9.496 into 10 की power 11 15. It comes out to be 3.26. So 1 parsec is 3.26 light year. So in this way you find what is the benefit of these large distances. इनडायरेक्ट मेथड्स में लार्ज डिस्टेंस के लिए हम सबसे पहला मेथड लेते हैं ट्रायंगुलर मेथड. ट्रायंगुलर मेथड का मतलब सपोज वी हैव अ हिल and we cannot reach its peak, but we can find the angle at one particular point of its peak by the telescope. So suppose the light from this peak S at point Q, or you can say T, is theta 1 and distance is x. We travel distance d backward. Now angle is theta 2. As we are moving away from this base of this hill R, then angle decreases, means theta 1 is greater than theta 2. Now we can use in triangle TRS. In triangle TRS, TR, that is base, upon RS, that may be height, is cot theta 1. So TR is x upon h is cot theta 1. This implies x is h cot theta 1. First equation. Now in triangle SPR, in triangle SPR, again we take base upon perpendicular, that is PR upon SR is cot theta 2. Now what is PR? PR is PT plus TR. PT is D, TR is X. So X plus D, SR is H, that is equal to cot theta 2. X plus D is H cot theta 2. Now I can subtract equation 2 equation 1 from equation 2, or I can substitute the value of x from equation 1 to equation 2. So if I substitute the value, this it will come here, that is h cot theta, x will come here. So d is equal to h cot theta 2 minus h cot theta 1. I know the value of d on horizontal plane, so I can find h from this, h d upon cot theta 2 minus cot theta 1. So this is the triangular method. Now second method is parallax method. Parallax method is applicable for the distance, measurement of the distance 100 less than 100 light year. So if it is 100 light year, what we are doing? Parallax means observing same object from two different locations sidewise. So I am observing this point O from two observation, whether left or right. So there is a apparent shift. This shift is called base, and this is called parallax distance, and this angle made by the two different locations of the object is called parallax angle. Theta is called parallax angle. It is called parallax angle. So now I can use angle is equal to arc upon radius, theta is equal to base upon radius is s. So s can be calculated by base upon theta. So this method is applicable. This method is applied for measurement of distant star from Earth. Or since you know that Earth is revolving around the sun, so we can take sun at the center and Earth is rotating around that sun. You know that we are taking observation or angle of a fixed star which orbit is similar to Earth orbit, means its location is fixed for one particular location of the Earth. Its time period around the sun is same as that of Earth, means if Earth is having 365 days, then it's also having 365 days. So, and this is a star, this is a fixed star whose position is fixed with respect to Earth, and this is unknown star whose position we have to find, whose distance we have to find with respect to this star. So what we will do, with the help of telescope, we will find this angle phi 1 from one position of the Earth, and after 6 months Earth reaches diagonally opposite point, and this star also reaches diagonally opposite point because it is fixed, it is with the Earth rotation. So again we measure this distance star angle, suppose it is phi 2. Now this distance becomes twice astronomical unit, 2 AU, because the distance between Earth and Sun, average distance between Earth and Sun is 1 astronomical unit. So it becomes 2 astronomical unit. Now I will use the formula again. This will becomes 2 astronomical unit, become base, and this act as R, act as S, and theta 1, phi 1 plus phi 2 is the acting as a theta. So now I will substitute phi 1 plus phi 2 is equal to arc length. I will assume AB as arc length upon this distance R. So this distance R is AB. AB upon phi 1 plus phi 2. R is the distance of that star from the Earth. So this is R is 2 into 1 AU upon phi 1 plus phi 2. Remember, whenever we are using angle, we are using angle in radian. So if it is given in degree or second or minutes, you have to convert them in radian. That point should be clearly visible to you, and you should be careful about this point. We have two stars. Their images are compared and their intensity of images are observed, and if the distance of one star is known, then we can find the distance of other star. Suppose S1 is a star and its intensity, its image intensity is I1, and S2 is a star which is further away, and we know here R1 and I1, and another star is S2 whose distance is not known and its image I2 can be observed. Image intensity can be observed. Then According to intensity method, I1 upon I2 is k by R1 square upon k by R2 square. And now I just take the rearrangement. Now I can find I1 by I2 is R2 square by R1 square. I know I1, I2 and R1, then I can find the R2. So R2 is R1 root I1 by I2. So this method is utilized for the distance greater than 100 light year. That is the distance which cannot be measured by the parallax method. We can measure them in the intensity method. Next is we are having Copernicus method. Copernicus method is used for inferior planet. Inferior planet means the planets which lie between the sun and the earth. Suppose the sun and the earth is here and its distance is RSE, that is equal to 1 AU, which is already known to us, and a planet is moving between sun and earth, and at an instant this planet subtend angle 90 degree because it's along the tangent line. Then this is called planet elongation epsilon. We are knowing E, we are knowing this, then we can find this as well as this. If I take the formula RSP upon RSE, then it becomes sine epsilon. So this is distance between sun and the planet. The distance between sun and the planet is R sun and earth into sine epsilon. And if I want to distance between earth and the planet, then R planet and earth upon this R sun and earth is equal to cos epsilon. So now distance between planet and earth can be measured by distance between sun and earth into cos epsilon. So this is the inferior method. Now we come to, if we are talking about the superior planet, we are talking about the Kepler's method, Kepler's law. Kepler's law states that suppose a planet is revolving around the sun. Suppose sun is here. Sun can be at any foci, any one place, here or here. The earth is revolving around it. Then the largest radius of the largest path is major axis, and it is 2a, and it is minor axis, it can be taken as 2b. So according to Kepler's law, if it takes time t to one complete revolution, then t square is proportional to cube of semi major axis, means half of the axis, major axis. So suppose if we are sun is this location and this is the path of one planet, its time period is t1 and its semi major axis is a1, and another planet is revolving in this, having time period t2 and semi major axis a2, then according to the Kepler's law, T1 square is Ka1 cube and T2 square is Ka2 cube. If suppose we know T1, A1 and K, and we know T2 and we have to find A2, then we can find it out with a very easy method. T1 square upon T2 square is A1 cube by A2 cube. So in this method, by comparing the value, we can find out the distance A2, same major axis of the revolving planet. Next is reflection method. Reflection method is also called echo method. It is utilized in sonar, laser. Actually, what is this method? Suppose this is a hill and we want to find its distance from a distance star point P. I fired a bullet and sound travel with a speed v, and suppose its distance from the point P is x, then sound travel, and I noted the time when I fired a bullet. The sound come, reflect from the hill and again comes by traveling distance x, and I noted the time of reception of the sound. So now x for going and x for returning can be find out with velocity into time. Final time is t, initial time is 0. So 2x is v into t. So x is v into t by 2. The same thing we are observing in the sea also. Suppose this is a bullet, this is a boat or a ship, and we want to find the depth of the sea. Then we just send the waves from the transponder and we receive the receiver. Suppose again this is a distance 2x and speed of the wave is v and time taken is t, then again x is vt by 2. So these are the method used for large distances. Now we will discuss the method used for small distances. In last two methods of indirect method for small distances, first is Avogadro hypothesis, second one is size of oleic acid. So in Avogadro hypothesis, Avogadro assumed that all the atoms are perfectly spherical, and when they are in close pack, their empty space are left between the containers, between the atoms of in the container. So he calculated that the actual volume occupied by the molecules of a gas is 2/3 of the total volume occupied by the gas. So suppose if we have a gas having each molecule of radius r and molecular mass capital M, then number of atoms in 1 gram is Avogadro number divided by M, and the actual total volume is n by m into 4 by 3 pi r cube. So what is Avogadro hypothesis? Avogadro hypothesis is total actual volume is 2/3 of the volume occupied by the gas. That must be equal to 2/3 of the volume occupied by the gas. So I just equating these two terms, n by m into 4 by 3 pi r cube is 2/3 of the volume. Since I know density is mass upon volume and the mass is 1 gram and volume is v, so v is 1 by rho. That is the density of the gas. So I substitute here. I will cancel out 3 by 3. 4 is 2 time. So I got 2n upon 2n pi r cube is upon m into v. V is not now, it is 1 by rho. So now it will come down, then r cube is m upon 2 pi n rho. Now r radius, that is approximate radius of the gaseous molecule present in the container is 2 pi n rho to the power 1 by 3. So you find it out this very simple method to calculate the approximate radius of the gaseous or gaseous molecule in the container. ओलेक एसिड में ओलेक एसिड एक सोपी सॉल्यूशन होता है और वो साइज में बल्की होता है, और ये अल्कोहल में डिसॉल्वेबल होता है, क्योंकि ऑर्गेनिक है तो ऑर्गेनिक एसिड में डिसॉल्वेबल होगा. तो हम करते क्या हैं, हम 1 सेंटीमीटर क्यूबिक ओलेक एसिड लेते हैं प्लस 19 सेंटीमीटर क्यूबिक C2H5OH यानी अल्कोहल लेते हैं. ये 20 ml के सॉल्यूशन में ओलेक एसिड की कंसंट्रेशन 1/20 है. अब इस सॉल्यूशन से हम 1 सेंटीमीटर क्यूबिक सॉल्यूशन लेते हैं प्लस उसमें 19 सेंटीमीटर क्यूबिक अल्कोहल मिक्स कर देते हैं. अब हम यहां से अगर 1 सेंटीमीटर क्यूबिक सॉल्यूशन लेते हैं तो उसकी कंसंट्रेशन 1/20 इंटू 20 है. अब हम ऐसा क्यों करते हैं, क्योंकि ये बल्कि एसिड है तो हम इसको क्या करते हैं, इसको बहुत बड़े एरिया पे फैला देते हैं, स्प्रेड कर देते हैं, ताकि इसकी एक सिंगल लेयर डेवलप हो पाए. सिंगल लेयर डेवलप होते ही हम ये जो लिक्विड है इसका एरिया तो हमें पता चल जाता है किससे, उस सरफेस का जिस पर इसको फैलाया गया, और विड्थ हम डी लेते हैं, तो एरिया इंटू विड्थ इसका वॉल्यूम होता है, वो वॉल्यूम हम किसके बराबर रख देते हैं, उन ड्रॉप्स के। मान लो इस सोल्यूशन में से मैंने n ड्रॉप्स ली और हर ड्रॉप्स का वॉल्यूम v है, तो यहां से n ड्रॉप्स ली, उसका वॉल्यूम v है, उसमें ओलेक एसिड कितना होगा, NB/400, दैट विल बी इक्वल टू एरिया ऑफ द सरफेस जिस पर मैंने इसको स्प्रेड किया। मान लो n ड्रॉप्स को मैंने इतने बड़े एरिया पे स्प्रेड कर दिया और इसकी सिंगल लेयर डेवलप हुई, ये लेयर, इस लेयर की विड्थ अगर d है तो हमें उसका एवरेज साइज पता चल जाएगा, डायमीटर किसका, ओलेइक एसिड मॉलिक्यूल। इन दिस वे वी फाइंड इट आउट all the methods, indirect, direct for short and long distances. I hope this will benefits you from all dimensions. Good luck.